When you work in risk management framework, you'll be asked to address security controls and assessment procedures. You can think of a security control as a question about cybersecurity, and an assessment procedure as a bunch of sub-questions within the larger overarching question. Every program or network you work on will be organized into packages within the web portal, called EMAS. EMAS takes the government-created risk management framework documentation such as NIST 8570, and makes it more visually appealing and more user-friendly to interact with. As a cybersecurity professional, you'll log into EMAS and select the package you're working on and answer security controls and assessment procedures. If it feels like you're playing 20 questions, it's because you are. When you answer a question as compliant, you include how it is compliant in your answer, and provide proof that demonstrates how you are compliant with that specific security control or assessment procedure. These documents you provide as proof are called artifacts. An artifact can be a policy or a procedure document, a scan result, or even a screenshot. Think of artifacts as the proof to justify your response, and anything that clearly demonstrates your response as true can be used as an artifact, even a humble screenshot. On the flip side, if you answer a question as non-compliant, you'll respond with how or why your organization is non-compliant, and then you'll create a plan of action and milestone document called a POAM, that speaks to how your organization plans to get in compliance. This plan will include a timeline, with milestone goals on the way to eventually getting compliant with that specific assessment procedure or security control. Once POAM goals have all been completed, and the assessment procedure or security control is now compliant, it is marked compliant, and the POAM associated with the security control or assessment procedure is deleted. In some situations, a control can't ever be made compliant. For example, if a security control requires a guard to walk around the facility every hour at night after the facility is closed for the day, that might be practical in most situations, but if some of the systems are in places that a guard would not be able to reach to walk around and inspect every hour, such as deep underground or far under the ocean, in those situations it might not be practical to implement the control. That example may seem extreme, but for a more everyday scenario, there are some security controls and assessment procedures requiring software updates to occur as soon as possible. However, there are many situations where making software changes to a system could render that system inoperable, so an organization may choose to not update a system so that it can continue to serve its intended function. And in other cases, implementing a security control would cost more money than the organization can afford to spend. When implementing a security control or assessment procedure isn't practical or possible, a risk is created. Even if that risk is mitigated as much as possible, the remaining risk will always be there without a security control to protect it. In that situation, where a security control or assessment procedure cannot be implemented, the authorizing official must accept the risk. The authorizing official, otherwise referred to as the AO, this person is ultimately responsible for the risk of a package, system, or network. The form used to formally have the AO accept the risk is called an AORA form. It stands for the Authorized Official Risk Acceptance Form. Once this form is completed and signed by the AO, it is uploaded to EMAS and linked to the security controls or assessment procedures it is accepting the risk for. In this video, we have discussed how security controls and assessment procedures are like questions to be answered, those answers being called test results, and how you need proof to demonstrate compliance, and in the case of non-compliance, POAM and AORA forms are used.
Thanks for watching, and if you're interested in how you can get a six-figure IT job without a college degree, or spending 10 years building experience somewhere you hate earning next to nothing, go to www.iavos.tech where you can learn how to use certs to get a six-figure IT job in way less time than it takes to earn a bachelor's degree. iavos.tech has a step-by-step career progression roadmap course with a resume builder, job searching strategies, interview tactics, and an entire catalog of free certifications you can complete in just a few weeks to go from a short one-page resume that gets lost in the pile, to a resume with over 34 industry IT certs that grabs the attention of hiring managers. And yes, you really can do this to change your life. Not everyone is lucky enough to find a career mentor, but don't let that stop you. Use iavos.tech to get ahead.